You know, when I got married all those years ago, I thought I was in charge. As you can imagine, this was a complete illusion. One of the things I thought I was in charge of was whether or not we would have pets. I was not an animal guy. Pets are messy and they need a lot of time and attention. I was a neatnik and had other plans for my time and attention. I was not an animal guy. Plus, I didn't always have great luck with animals. For example, in the first church I served, I visited an elderly woman, and the entire time I was there, her cat insisted on sitting on my lap. And when I left an hour later, I had a red, itchy rash from my clerical collar all the way up to my cheeks. No. Then in my second church, shortly after we arrived, my whole family visited a member of the parish who owned horses. Well, he wanted my little girl to try out sitting on this horse, and so he put her up in the saddle. The horse started to jump around and shy a bit, so I grabbed my little daughter to save her from this horse. The horse immediately stomped right on my foot. This smarted a little bit, as you can imagine. A week later, in my new church in Pennsylvania, I was visiting another parish family. They had a huge German Shepherd. And as I came into the house, they all said, "Oh, don't worry, he's fine." Immediately, the dog jumped up and bit me in the chest. It drew blood and everything. Now, all this made me wonder if I had chosen the right line of work in this little Pennsylvania town. So I was really not an animal guy, you know. Trouble is, it turns out I happened to marry Dr. Doolittle. She loves all God's critters. And even though, being in charge, I thought we should avoid pets, it turns out that during our 43-year marriage, there were maybe 3 years when we were animal-free. We've had guinea pigs, rabbits, fish, lizards, birds, cats, and dogs. Our current canine is third in a series. He's 7 years old. His name is Jackson. And here's the thing. He's really pretty great. I have come around on that whole animal thing. And my dog has taught me some really important stuff. Now, this is the time of the year when a lot of churches have animal blessings. It's near the day in the church calendar that we honor St. Francis of Assisi. And the tradition is that Francis loved all the animals and all the animals loved Francis. So this afternoon at 4 o'clock, I will be here to bless all the animals that you bring. So, I thought this morning might be a good time for me to mention some of the important stuff my dog is teaching me. These are just random lessons. Maybe one or two of them will resonate with you, whether or not you have pets. So here we go. Joy is meant to be shared. A dog is always ready to celebrate. Time for a walk. Time for a treat. Time for a toy. A dog is a living exclamation point. Dogs know how to play, and that's something I need to do more often. Also, love is an action word. Dogs lift us up when we're down, and dogs celebrate with us when we rejoice. And by the way, that is something Jesus told us to do for each other. And dogs are loyal to the end and never withhold affection. I came across this quote in my reading. We give dogs time we can spare, space we can spare, and love we can spare. In return, dogs give us their all. It is the best deal human beings have ever made. Another thing my dog has taught me is never turn down a chance to go for for a walk. That means my dog is just as smart as Thomas Jefferson, who once said, of all exercises, walking is the best. And my dog appreciates the simple pleasures of life. A nap, some leftovers from last night's dinner, a pat on the head, a gentle word. All of those and more can make a dog so happy. My dog really seems to believe that every meal is the best meal ever. I would be a happier person if I learned that kind of appreciation. I've also noticed that if I take just a couple of moments to drop everything else and spend a little time petting and fussing over my dog, my stress level goes down and I feel a little more peaceful. And that's hard for me to do as one of those busy, type A, get it done now kind of people. But it's worth it, and it's an important lesson my dog is teaching me. But maybe the most important thing my dog teaches me is about love. My dog loves me unconditionally. He doesn't care what I look like. He doesn't care if I've brushed my teeth and my hair. He doesn't care how much money I have. He doesn't care if I am a wildly successful anything. He just loves me, totally and without reserve. He loves me just as I am. And don't you think that's an amazing thing? Don't you think that's pretty wonderful? Don't you think that's a little like what we say in church about God's love? I do. And so, I would like to sing you a song about this kind of love. It's a song that I learned on the internet, of all places, and the song was written by composer and singer Wendy Francisco. I look up and I see God. I look down and see my dog. Simple spelling G-O-D. Same word backwards, D-O-G. They would stay with me all day. I'm the one who walks away. But both of them just wait for me and dance at my return with glee. Both love me no matter what. Divine dog and canine mutt. I take it hard each time I fail, but God forgives. Dog wags his tail. God thought up and made the dog. Dog reflects a part of God. I've seen love from both sides now. It's everywhere. Amen. Bow wow. I look up and I see God. I look down and see my dog. And in my human frailty, I can't match their love for me. Amen. Bow wow.